All right, everybody, here we are in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. I am here with two fantastic young ladies. The website is hotslutsandpoutine.com.
Yep. You got it.
Lacey, introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lacey Jane. I'm an artist originally from Edmonton, but we live here in Montreal and have created this weird artistic brainchild that is Hot Sluts and Poutine.
Layla.
Hi, I'm Layla. I'm Layla Folkman. I'm 50% of the duo Hot Sluts and Poutine. I also originate from Edmonton, but we moved here together to sort of create our artist brainchild.
Okay, so Lacey, tell us what you guys do. It's really cool. People should check it out because this is actually almost for what you guys do. I'll duck down because this is your piece, Lacey.
Yeah, this is one of mine.
Tell us what we have here, and this again this is a PG version, PG-13 for you guys.
Yeah, this is a pretty safe painting as far as they can go.
Why don't I just
Okay,
tell us about it? Yeah.
Should I hold this?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is called Cindy Wright Ain't That Bright. I like to make sort of large-scale narrative paintings, very cinematic in nature, always humor and always sexual and always lots of fun things going on. So as you can see, we have our lovely Cindy Wright with her 40 and her baby and all of her assorted elements of her trailer life. So it's sort of like a fun mix of adventure, fantasy, reality, playfulness.
Is she real?
No, she's a figment of my imagination and Frankenstein from bits of pieces of other people.
She's very hot.
Oh, she is. Yes, I like my women in this fashion.
She's a slut, Layla?
Yeah, she's a bit of a slut. I imagine her to be anyway. She's a bit of a trashy girl.
Layla, now, this is your piece behind us. We have a giant penis and a glory hole.
Yeah. Yes, it's called Pole Knob, believe it or not. It's one of my earlier pieces. I think I've been doing sort of sexually themed stuff for a long time now. I did a whole series of giant cum shots, big lips, juicy, you know. But yeah, I like to focus on sort of humorous, sexual, really overtly just in your face sex. And sometimes it's a little bit more subtle, sometimes not, but I like to mix it up.
When she says giant cum shots, Lacey, we're going to ask Layla about in a second. What does she mean?
She means literally blown up paintings of mouths, usually mine or hers actually, with like some sort of milky-ish liquidy substance across the face, but it's like there's such a macro large painting, they look like a macro photography that you can't quite know for sure what it is. But we know, and it's pretty funny. It's actually very similar to the other painting that she has right behind you, but instead of blue candy, it's seminal fluid.
Can we get that, Charlotte? Can we get blue candy? Okay. Tell us about blue candy here. Well, actually, before we get to blue, we're looking at blue candy, and then we'll get back to the cum shots in a second. Okay, tell us about blue candy here.
Well, this is one of a diptych. The other one is just a series of candy. So this is a little bit more of my recent pieces. It's a little bit more subtle. It's a little bit sexual in the same way, but it's just about the mouth. It's about, I don't know, just like sweet candy. Blue, the color blue. I was really interested in the color blue for this one, but it's less sexually overt than the other ones, but it's still around the same genre.
So the white stuff is cum there? Is that what?
No, this is just blue tongue.
Okay. Fair question.
Yeah. No, I mean, we're in the category, so no.
So how does one paint cum? How do we do that? What's the
steps I take in which...
You don't have to give us the exact details, but, some of the thoughts going into it at least. How do you paint cum?
I start with the photograph. I mean, sometimes I look into different porn, so I spend a lot of time researching, which is great fun. But then other times I've taken photographs myself, and which has been my model. Thank you, Lacey. But I've mixed up this weird concoction of kitchen stuff. It was edible, and it was just horrible, and I apologize. It was like sort of like icing sugar, but gone wrong. Anyway, so we just mixed up a concoction and I played with it a little bit and had a little fun, but some of them are real. Some of them are sort of invention, but different processes for each one.
Male cum, female cum?
Well, who knows? I guess it can be whatever you want it to be. It's got a little bit more texture than female cum, I imagine, but we'll leave that to the viewer.
Okay, so Lacey, obviously, I have to say I'm a little fascinated by this topic here. So being the Yeah, as I should be. So being the cum model, you said it was gross.
The little weird concoction that she made was gross.
What was the concoction? What's a concoction of cum, basically?
Like icing, sugar, maybe egg yolk, some sort of weird shit. In the end, it turned out that hair conditioner worked best. But I remember it was like, she tried to make it edible and then she tried to make it also taste good. And then I'm just laying there being like, stop this. But in the end, all that matters is the art.
There you go. There you go. So how did you guys get this going? How did Hot Sluts and Poutine come about? You're both from Alberta.
Right.
You're from Edmonton, near Edmonton. Tell us about it.
We met in art school together and then we went traveling a lot and we had kind of built up a repertoire around us. People always knew us as the pink-haired girls. And we had developed a bit of a reputation of just being ridiculous. Like we were always the ones throwing the biggest parties and getting the largest groups to go rage and do weird things. And then we would actually go to new towns like in Vietnam and people had already talked about us. So we realized like we kind of are pretty good at generating a hype and getting people to party and have a good time. And then we started doing that like to the nines and being as ridiculous as we could. And then when we moved here to kind of pursue more of artistic practice, we realized this like dichotomy of our life, this one half making art and then one half being completely ridiculous and totally inappropriate, but still under the veil of humor, should have a thing. So it's like Hot Sluts and Poutine is really just an umbrella term for our lives, which is, ridiculousness and art.
Yeah, I remember we came up with it one night. We were drunkenly arm in arm walking through the streets, and we were thinking about it. We're like, how do we put a name on this? We need to put a name on this. We need to like be a duo. We're a duo. We do similar work. We've worked together on lots of murals throughout the years, and we're like, we really need to put a term on this. And we're like, well, what would go well in Montreal? We're in Montreal now. This is new, exciting. We're like, well, this province loves their fucking poutine. And we're ridiculous sluts. So we're like, how do we
Hot sluts.
excuse me, hot sluts. But we just wanted to put a name that represented our humor, that represented the sexuality that we like to portray in our work, and then that just sort of popped out of nowhere, Hot Sluts and Poutine, and then it's just perfect for us. It's a food and sluts. Who doesn't love sluts? So.
Lacey, tell us about some of the art you do, because as we said, and we're going to get some pictures of stuff upstairs, this is, as we said, PG for you.
Yes.
Tell us about some of the other stuff that you do.
Well, it goes through different phases. Like there's different stories I want to tell. And I had about a year where all I was doing was like a porno circus theme that just came out of a dream I had. And then I was like, this is hot as fuck. I'm going to keep doing these like fetish clowns and things like that. Cause who wouldn't want to go to a sex circus? So that was one theme. And then lately I've been really intrigued with the idea of like making weird narratives because I like live in my brain majority of the time. And so I've always trying to find like a way of like making kind of funny stories that are like one part soap opera, like one part like a bit of reality, and then something else that makes no sense. But there's always just this really heavy sexual notes under it. So before it used to be a little bit more just like tits and ass everywhere. And everyone's like, this is awesome. I can look at it and digest it. And now I'm trying to make it a little bit weirder. So there's like more things going on. So people are like, I'm turned on and a little off put by this. And I like that. I love that art can make you uncomfortable. I think that's a fantastic thing.
Are we going to be able to see some of this clown porn upstairs?
Yeah, I think I've got a few up there. I think so.
And Layla, obviously you've showed us a couple pieces, some of the other stuff that you do and what made you do it.
Well, yeah, I guess I go through phases as well. I explore portraiture quite a bit. I really enjoy just the structure of people's faces. Like I have one up at the Concordia Gallery right now. That's a portrait of Lacey just eating ice cream, just raw ice cream. I did this recent, I have a fascination with lactose apparently with cream and dairy products, but I did this series of 3, which is unfinished. I completed 2, but it's of women, milk, and just boobs. So there's a lot of boob, there's a lot of milk. I called it lactose tolerant. Okay. But you'll see one upstairs. There's one upstairs that's finished. But yeah, I think it's exploration of just, it's not so much about semen now. I've transferred it to sort of something that might represent it and people can fill that blank in their minds. But it's just about women and just sexuality and just throwing it out there for people to catch on to.
So it sounds like you guys have you're getting, it's not just the base. Well, I won't call it basic, of course, but you're getting weirder. It sounds like a little bit. You're pushing the envelope more.
That was actually my goal this year. I was like, I want to make my paintings weirder.
I got the word right.
Yeah, it was like the exact word. Because I love weird. Everyone should be weird. Everyone is weird. And it's a hard thing to do, to harness all the things you have and kind of put it out there in your art. And we were even once criticized by a professor of ours, and he was like, you guys, your art is still a bit more safe than you are. And we were like, challenge accepted, man.
Not bad for a professor to say that.
No, it's pretty cool, actually.
We've been harnessing different aspects of work. Like, not only do we do paintings, but recently in a school context, we've been doing installation and performance stuff, where we grouped together as a project and we did an installation of this whole room. We took this whole room, turned the lights down, put LEDs, and we did about 500 origami penises.
You got to explain that just a little more.
Origami penises, and we hung them from the wall, and there was a giant drawing of a vagina. I suppose we could show you elements of it. We have the origami penises, 500 of them. We put LED lights in them and turned the lights down, and but yeah, it was this like giant swoop of penises going to this huge, giant, hyper-realistic drawing of a vagina.
It's quite the vagina.
It was pretty epic, and it went really well. So people could walk in and like dip under the origami penises that were hanging from the ceiling. But it was a really fun, really strange, humorous installation that we did recently.
Awesome. And Lacey, thanks for doing this. We're going to go upstairs, take a look at some items right now. Tell everybody where they can find you. We said Hot Sluts and Poutine, but some of the events you guys do also.
Well, we work with a collective called A Shop as well, so we get to do a lot of public events and murals and live paintings. So there's a lot of that fun stuff if you go to ashop.ca. And then ours is hotslutsandpoutine.com. And then we've recently got Instagram twice because our first one was deleted for being a little vile lady.
Really?
We didn't know you had to cover up nipples and giant cocks. So now we've reopened Instagram and it's Hot Sluts N, like the letter N, Putin. And now we have to put little like stickers and censored bars over things. But we still have an Instagram account, and so you can follow our weirdness there.
You're a little too much for Instagram, hey?
Apparently. Yeah. So we can go PG. We can do that. We're capable. So there's a PG thing, and then the real stuff is on the website.
Awesome stuff. And Layla, I just want to ask you, so we went through milk, lactose, cum. There's a fascination here with what is, we'll go to Lacey first. A fascination here with her with that stuff, eh?
No idea.